presentation. And like I said, I will click next whenever you tell me to. So thank you.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. The Illinois State Board of Education and Ohio State University partnered to implement the EnvisionIT curriculum in a few of our Illinois districts. Next. Okay, so EnvisionIT is a comprehensive college and career readiness curriculum. It is aligned to the national standards for IT, financial literacy, English language arts, as well as career technical. Next. So to give you some background, the curriculum was developed by OSU in 2003, and they were awarded a grant by the US DOE, Department of Education, for this particular curriculum. In 2012, they received a second grant to step up the EnvisionIT project. So right now, it's being used in 69 schools in 5 states. So that would be Ohio, Connecticut, Wisconsin, New York, and now, now Illinois. And it's used both in general education as well as special education classrooms. Next. Okay, so here are just some highlights. The EnvisionIT project, the EnvisionIT curriculum is free. And so let me repeat that again, it's free. We know free is good because a lot of our districts really struggle with being able to provide resources. And so the curriculum is free. As a matter of fact, the training is free. Initially, we plan to provide training via the web as well as face-to-face trainings. But when OSU did the webinar training, actually the teachers felt confident enough to go back into the classroom and to actually implement the curriculum. So the face-to-face trainings weren't needed. Some teachers, though, did have to go back and modify the curriculum some. The curriculum, it has a blended as well as a digital learning format. It is evidence-based, so it's backed by research. And as I stated, it's aligned to standards. It's also aligned to federal legislation. And the target age, the target grade is 6th grade. So it's appropriate not only for high school students, but also for middle school students. As a matter of fact, OSU just completed a second version of the EnvisionIT curriculum, and that reading level is for 4th grade. But I think the most exciting thing about the curriculum really is that individualized comprehensive transition plan that the students develop. They develop a portfolio. And it's my understanding that some Ohio seniors are actually using the portfolio, and that goes towards their alternative graduation, pathway to graduation. The EnvisionIT curriculum also supports a variety of education programs, such as the IEP for our students with disabilities that are in public school, the individual service plans for those students with disabilities that are in private school, the student service plans that some schools develop for all of their students, both gen ed as well as special ed students, and then individualized plans for employment that Voc Rehabilitation creates for their clients. Next. So there are 2 pathways to employment with this curriculum. Students are either going to continue their education by going to college, or they're going to go to training route, where they go directly into employment, or they enlist in the military. Next. So as I said, the EnvisionIT project, it supports legislation. It supports the Individual with Disabilities Education Act. It supports the Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act, as well as the Every Student Succeeds Act. Now, it supports IDEA because students complete age-appropriate assessment, and that drives the process. That helps them to choose a career that fits their preferences, their interests, their strengths, as well as their weaknesses. Now, it supports WIOA because it focuses on those 5 areas: job exploration, work-based learning, counseling on the post-secondary education, workplace readiness, and instruction in self-advocacy. And it supports ESSA because the format is both digital, as well as blended. The resources are interactive, and the portfolio that it provides. Next. So here's just a few research studies that have been done on the curriculum, and it's shown to increase student skill in transition, reading, as well as IT. Next. The curriculum has 12 customizable units. Students really start by just learning the components in the curriculum, as well as how to navigate through the program. And then they learn the learning objectives for the curriculum. Then they are introduced to the transition portfolio, which of course is their map to their future for their life after school. A completed transition portfolio will contain the students' self-assessment results, their career choices that match their interests, their career goals in a career essay, a sample job in college applications, high school course schedule, a resume and cover letter, and a digital presentation of their career research. In Unit 2, they take assessments again to find out what their interests are and that sort of thing. In Unit 3, they research careers using the ONET system. In Unit 4, they actually set their career goals. So here's where they will identify or they will create a plan A and create a plan B. And that's important because some of our students, they set their sights very high. They may want to be professional athletes or doctors. So we know it's really important for them to have a plan B because very few students will make it to the NBA or NFL. In Unit 5, they research and they find out what training or education is necessary for them to achieve their career goals. And then in Unit 6, they're further developing their goals. That's where they're looking at how they're going to pay for college, what financial aid is available. In the next few units, they're going to build their resume, draft the cover letter, complete both job as well as career applications, and then practice those interview skills. And then the last 2 units, they actually present their career research as well as write a career essay. Now, in the essay, they report what they've learned about themselves as well as what their career goals are. Next. So here's just an idea of models that can be used with the program to implement the program or the curriculum for the entire curriculum. Rather, it will take an entire academic year. But you can also implement just for a semester or even just like in an advisory class. So really, this is just an example of the different models that can be used. And as you see at the very bottom, there's an IEP transition planning model if you just want to focus on EnvisionIT with students with disabilities. Next. So this is our flow chart for transition planning in Illinois. We always start with the age-appropriate transition assessments, and that informs the process. From that, students can then develop measurable post-secondary goals, and then from there, we determine what services in a course of study that's going to be needed for a student to reach their post-secondary goals. Then we develop the annual goals as well as linkages to adult agencies. Now, the reason why I included this in here is not only to show you how we plan transition in Illinois, but because the EnvisionIT curriculum informs each one of these sections. Next. So in our pilot, we have 3 districts, a total of 5 schools, and over 200 students that are involved, and 5 different EnvisionIT models are being used. Next. The very first school is being used in an alternative setting. Now, when I say alternative setting, I don't mean a setting for students who have behavioral problems. They do have challenges, but mainly they're just in need of credit recovery. There are a total of 8 students that are involved, both gen ed as well as special ed students, sophomores through seniors. Now, EnvisionIT is used as the primary curriculum. So it is used every day for at least 30 minutes a day. And the teachers report that their students were able to comprehend and read the curriculum the way it was designed at that 6th grade level. They didn't have to modify the curriculum at all. They liked the fact that their students were able to develop realistic career plans. And for next year, they actually plan to implement it for the entire year. They also felt that students are interested in the curriculum because the curriculum is about them. And at this age, you know, it's all about them. So that's the reason why they're engaged. Next. The next district is being implemented in 3 different classes. All of these students, though, are receiving special education services. So it's being implemented in self-contained classrooms, in a learning strategies class, which is similar to a resource class, in English, as well as in co-op STEP. Now, this district is used in EnvisionIT as a supplement. So it's not used every day. It's used on average of maybe 2 times a day, 2 times a week for at least 30 minutes. And the teachers reported that they did have to modify the curriculum. It was challenging for their students at a 6th grade reading level. I do want to mention that, if I didn't mention it before, that Ohio State University just finished creating the 2nd version of EnvisionIT for the 4th grade reading level. I think I did say that, but I just want to make sure that I did. But teachers are really pleased with the curriculum because they feel that it allows their students to really think about their careers. It's a reality check. Next. And then our last district is a large suburban district. 3 high schools are involved, and it's being implemented in an occupational co-op class where all of the students have jobs, so they spend part of their day in school and then part of their days, at a job. And like the previous district, EnvisionIT is used to supplement their core curriculum. The teachers reported that not only do they like the curriculum, but they like the fact that it doesn't take any extra time than what they are used to in terms of preparing for the lesson. And that was really important for us because we really don't want to give a curriculum to a teacher that's going to be really time consuming because, they already have enough to deal with. We don't want them to be burdened with a curriculum. Next. So this is I just wanted to give you guys the link to Schoology. EnvisionIT can be, let me back up. EnvisionIT uses either Google Classroom, Schoology, or Canvas. Now, if you use this link for Schoology, you'll see that everything is really neatly laid out. Google Classroom is okay too. I know that a lot of teachers are used to Google Classroom, but when I looked in Google Classroom, I was overwhelmed. Schoology just makes things easier. Teachers don't have to attach documents in Schoology, but they do in in Google Classroom. You can also use Canvas, but I don't know how that would work. Okay. And if you have any more questions regarding the curriculum next, you can contact me. I do think that we have a question.
We do.